I pull up, roll the window down it. I pull up, roll the window down it. Yeah, I pull up, roll the window down it.
Baby, you don't know what you do to me. Between me and you, I feel like chemistry. I won't let no one come and take your place. Cause the love you give, you can't be replaced. It's not in the case of anybody. That's why I spend my life with you.
Hi, hotties, kettles, tea stirs. You're here for hot tea. All commentary is alleged, and in my opinion, this is for entertainment purposes only.
What up, ho? We in other people business, and we gotta talk about Married to Medicine, Heavenly, and her going on her YouTube channel to expose the text messages that Dr. G sent her husband, Dr. Damon, and the comments that she made toward Contessa, and Contessa, or Dr. Contessa, responding. And shouts out to Neighborhood Talk, because Neighborhood Talk caught all of this, and shouts out to Reality Entertainment TV. I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I forget to shout these people out because I be on their platform so often, but don't charge it to my heart, charge it to my mind. Y'all know I be over here anyways. And it's looking like I'm probably gonna be standing on the outs when it comes to my commentary about Married to Medicine in the cast. And y'all already know I'm okay with standing on the outs, but I feel like I have a lot of controversial opinions about a lot of the stuff that's going on, especially in regards to Heavenly, because at the end of the day, I'm just starting to see that it's really just about who you like and who you don't like, and people don't really like to use logic and really use their morals or whatever the fuck point they're trying to make as a whole for everybody across the board, because it's looking like I get it. Y'all don't like Heavenly. I totally get it, right? But it's looking like because y'all don't like Heavenly, y'all are willing to overlook a lot of the stuff that's going on just because you don't like Heavenly. Now, y'all know I've bounced in between. Like, I really thought Heavenly was funny. I thought her reads were crazy, chaotic, and very reminiscent to some aunties that I have. And I also feel like just it's a Florida thing, right? She goes low and inhale when people come for her. But I'm not gonna lie, like, my opinions of her changed swiftly over the time as I've seen her interact and deal with certain things in regards to Martell. I'm just gonna be honest with y'all. It's one thing to be combative and petty and weird and, you know, have these back and forth moments with women, right? But to literally align yourself with an abusive person like Martell is where I have always drawn the line. And when she was doing that shit, she thought that shit was cute, but it really was a testament of her character. And that's just where I would leave it. But I'm going to be real. Just because I don't like her and I don't think she is the best person, I can be real. And so there was a scene where Dr. Heavenly was talking about Contessa's breast or whatnot. Might I add, I think Contessa ultimately looked nice. I thought she was one of the best dressed at the reunion. Y'all know that. We already did our reunion looks, thoughts, and opinions. But in this scene, Dr. Heavenly is speaking about Dr. Contessa's breast and basically saying that she got a bad botch job or whatever the case may be. So Dr. Contessa took to her social media to basically talk about that she don't have breasts because, you know, she had breast cancer. So she had to get her breast taken out and it's tissue there or something of the sort, you know, the medical word. And so Dr. Heavenly responded on her YouTube channel basically saying whether she got breast tissue paper, whatever the case may be, she felt like it was a bad botch job and don't talk about her if you don't want her to talk about you. And that's just where I have to draw the line. I agree. I mean, I don't give a fuck what you done been through in life. If you want to sit on the couch and talk about me and talk about how I look, why the hell you think I'm not going to do the same? And if your titties look bad, in my opinion, that's what I'm going to talk about. And that's like, I mean, I agree with that. Now, am I saying that Heavenly is right or wrong for her opinions on, or her comments on Contessa's titties? I don't care. And I think the only reason people care is because of what Contessa has gone through. But I don't think that's excusable. Like, you don't get to fucking talk about me and I can't talk about you. You get what I'm saying? It's like Beto, right? People really try to say that I am talking about that damn lady cancer, or they try to really come at me for talking about her because she had cancer. I don't give a fuck. Your illness is not a fucking excuse or a meal ticket or a green ticket for you to talk shit about me or and be excused from getting this smoke. You don't get to have fucking cancer and then have to get your breast done. And this is like no shade. I'm just being real. You don't get to, go through that, get your breast done, talk about how my body shape is, or talk about my weight, or whatever the case may be. Not saying that's what Contessa did. I'm just giving you guys an example. And then get upset when I say, yo, you got a bad botch job. And then be like, oh, well, I went through cancer. It don't matter what you went through, okay? You talk about me, so I'm talking about you. Like, let's stay on topic. Your titties look bad. All I'm saying is I'm just willing to be fair across the board. And being fair across the board is, if you were, because I don't know if that was true, that's just what Heavenly said on her YouTube channel. If you were talking about she looked like, somebody in the face, or her dress was ugly, and, you talking about all of this stuff, I don't really think that you could try to pull empathy, because she talked about your tits and you felt like that was a little too low. And that's just what it is. Because y'all know I also feel like that about the sweet tea and Heavenly thing. Now, I've said that, Heavenly had been talking about sweet tea for I don't know how long. So sweet tea took it to hell and said, that's why your mama probably in hell. So then Heavenly took it to hellier, and then she said, well, my mama in hell got a better chance of having a baby than you. Like, I think that is who am I? Who am I to tell you how to respond, right? So if you having infertility issues, I don't think that I don't know, right? All I'm saying is, if you can't go to hell and get mad that somebody else want to go to the pits of hell.
And a quick little message to you guys to tell you, I don't have any breast. I know people have said so many crazy things, but for anyone who's had what I had, which was a bilateral mastectomy, I've had all of my breast tissue removed. And so what you see beneath my skin is implants. And I'll tell you, I'll take implants upside, downside, turn in, out. I don't care if they are asymmetrical, but I take that over breast cancer any day of the week because I want to be here to raise my children. But if someone would like to insult what they see, feel free. Argue amongst yourself. Low-hanging fruit. I understand it. But just understand that use the right term. It's just cleavage. That's what you're looking at, because I don't have any breast tissue anymore. It was removed. God bless you.
For talking, whatever. I don't remember what I said to Contessa. Contessa kept throwing shots at me. Contessa kept saying stuff about my dress. She kept saying stuff about different things. So I heard them over there, but I couldn't hear them. But one thing I did hear them say, because they snickling over there and they talking under their breath and shit, okay? That's a Phaedra move. They got it from her. Talking under their breath. But I did hear Contessa call me Professor Clump or Best Fuchsia or some shit. What's Professor Crump's name? I think it was Resprucia or some shit. She kept saying some shit about me or whatever, and she was over there. They was cackling her and sweet tea. So I turned around and I said, bitch, and honestly, I ain't thinking about no breast cancer because the bitch didn't have breast cancer. She didn't. She did a prophylactic, which she might have never had it. Okay. My whole thing is, if you're gonna talk about my appearance, I can talk about yours. I wasn't thinking about no breast. I wasn't thinking about none of that because she ain't never had it. Okay. So now she gonna start crying, probably make it a big thing. You know what I mean? But anyway. I'm going to apologize for talking fast. I'm sorry. But bitch, leave me alone. If you're going to talk about my appearance, I can talk about yours. And at the end of the day, I'm going to say this and I'm going to take it back. If you didn't have it, you could have got a better surgery. Stop being cheap. That's all I'm going to say. Let's move on. Because Toya titties look good and Toya wrong because she could tell you where she got hers. Anyway, moving on. I'm sorry. But be human.
You seem like a miserable person to be with. I hope he has some joy.
Ooh, your titties way over here. Please don't talk about me when you got botched surgery. Yes, human.
You seem like a miserable person to be.
All right. Now, this is where we get to the great divide of this platform, because there is a great divide and difference of opinions when it comes to Dr. Heavenly and Sweet Tea, which is perfectly fine. But y'all don't be trying to come at me heavy, okay, in the comment section, because y'all already know I'm going to bite your ass back. You can give me your opinion, but all of that barking, calm that shit down, you know, all of that. Y'all always letting Heavenly get a pass, or y'all always talking about Sweet Tea. Like, calm down, okay? Calm down, because I feel like I have been very fucking fair. I initially didn't like Sweet Tea and initially liked Heavenly. Now, I don't like either one of them, which is a joke, right? Because I do like Sweet Tea. I just think Sweet Tea is at a place where she is falling so deep into the trap that it's hard to watch. But also, as she falls into the trap, she's kind of aggravated at people in their difference of opinions than hers, rather than kind of just opening up, in my opinion. Because I don't feel like Heavenly is all the way right in this situation, but she absolutely isn't all the way wrong. And I've expressed that to y'all in my other videos, as far as Dr. G and Sweet Tea coming on the platform as a whole. I think Sweet Tea is being manipulated by Dr. G, and at this point, she just is rocking and rolling, and she is fully engulfed in it, and it's to her own detriment, unfortunately. I also think people don't like Heavenly so bad to the point in where they can't see Dr. Damon being a man, and they have now turned on Damon, and they can't see the words that he is saying to another man, and that's okay, right? Because a lot of times when I see the talking points of women, I mean, it comes from a place of no shade, right? If you offended, hey, if you're new to the channel, then you know. If I say something and you take offense to it, bitch, that's your own problems, okay? That don't got shit to do with me, because I'm talking about something else and I ain't talking about you. So if you put yourself in a scenario that I didn't place you in, take that shit up with your mammy. So circling back to my point, I feel like I always know what type of woman you are when you don't allow men to be men. And I always know that you probably didn't grow up around a lot of men if you take offense or issue with the way men do things. Because a lot of times it's always women in the comment section talking and chatting, and they're talking and chatting from a woman's perspective, never really being in the room with a man. And if being in, not, and see, that's sarcasm, right? But it always has a tone of, I don't really know how men operate. And the men that I do see operate are not the type of men that we really want. You get what I'm saying? Like they really not the type of men that hold any ranking in society. So we wouldn't care how you've seen them operate in life or in society, if that makes any sense. So for example, a lot of people feel like Dr. Damon don't check Dr. Heavenly, and I don't understand why people have that narrative. Dr. Heavenly is a strong-willed black woman. Dr. Damon, in order to be able to deal with that type of complexity, he would have to be a strong-willed man, very dominant. That type of man who is secure within himself, you'll probably never hear him check his wife in the way that you guys are wanting him to in public. That's not what type of man he is. But the fact that I keep hearing so many women say he needs to check his wife, I think he does check his wife, because if you pay attention, Heavenly, like, since she said that P word, since she said that, if you pay attention when she is having those outbursts with Sweet Tea, she's like, oh, I'm sorry. For example, when they were sitting down having that couples talk at the vacation, and Quad was talking about Dr. G didn't want to leave her. She's the one that left the marriage. And Dr. Heavenly intervened and was like, nuh-uh, he lying. She left or whatever. And then she was like, oh, I'm sorry. Dr. Damon turned to her. He said, shh, and put his hands up or whatever. That lets me know that they've already had a conversation about them, and he already told her that she done already stuck her foot in her ass and she needs to get herself under control because it has already affected him. However, Dr. Heavenly, just being a strong-willed person, is always going to be herself. And Dr. Damon, being confident and secure within himself as a man, he's going to allow her to be herself and deal with the consequences on the back end. But Dr. Heavenly, as a woman, has to take more steps to make sure she's not putting her husband in these compromising situations. So again, people that say, oh, he need to check his wife, I'm pretty sure y'all are in situations with men that ain't worth the shit, or not secure within themselves or confident within themselves, because no good man is going to check his wife in front of every fucking body. Period. And I feel like I know from example. I don't... Not from example, but from experience. Like, I always tell y'all, I feel like my husband is kind of similar to Dr. Damon. Like, he's never going to do too much. He don't give a damn about women banter and arguing and, you know, blah, 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 blah. Like, oh, your husband's gay. Oh, your husband a bitch. Oh, yo, you run all over your husband. Or, you know, that type, you know, who cares? You know what I'm saying? Like, women banter, that means nothing to him, because how he shows up in the world as a man supersedes all of that shit, and it really wouldn't matter, because who he is on the daily is just that. And I feel like that's what Dr. Damon was trying to say to Dr. G. Dr. G straight up lied. Dr. G took issue with the women banter on social media and text his homeboy phone rather than having a conversation with him beforehand and said, your wife comments are bizarre and malicious, so I'm not going to be doing your patience anymore, while spelling patience wrong and putting patience like you're having patience for somebody. So again, I get y'all don't like Heavenly, and I also get a lot of y'all probably just don't have enough experience with men to even know how men operate. I've been around men majority of my life, and women just bantering and gossip, that's never phased them or been an issue, but it has been to the specific type of man. And that has always been interesting to me too. And what's important to note is Dr. Damon is an accountable man. This is what's so funny to me. There is such an issue with influence in our community. Y'all don't even see when y'all are dealing with a real man and a man that is one that is creating the issues within our community. Dr. G is supposed to be like a psychologist, bitch. And he is the most unaccountable husband we have seen on Married to Medicine. Dr. Damon is not only accountable for his actions, but he's accountable for his wife's actions. And he always take the short end of the stick when Heavenly put him in these situations. He even had enough decency and wherewithal to say on the reunion when they brought up, when Andy checked him about Heavenly's comments, and said, yeah, well, she called him a P. And he said, and I don't think that's right. I'm not saying that's right at all. But what I am saying is, you didn't come to me and have a conversation with me. What you did was spite me and took my patience away, or, you know, stop seeing my patience, or whatever the case may be. And if you guys can't see that, then I don't think you're equipped enough to even have an honest conversation, because that's just that. That's just that. Dr. G straight up lied and said that he did not stopped seeing his patients because of the social media stuff, and he stopped seeing his patients because they were high risk. Yet in the text message, it clearly states that your wife said this on social media, so I don't want to see the patients anymore. I mean, I get it. We don't like Heavenly. I get it. I get it. But we also don't like strong-willed black women either, I guess. Or we don't like, because that's really what this translates to, in my opinion. She's very strong-willed, and she has a man and a husband that supports her in that. And a lot of y'all just don't got that. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. The black community is really lacking in representation, especially in manhood. And you don't see too many husbands and men like Dr. Damon. It's really not a lot of them. But we can see a lot of men like Dr. G. He straight up lied. He's unaccountable. And look at the way that he spoke to his wife. Yet, because y'all don't like this black woman, y'all about to go up for a man that is absolutely problematic. It speaks volumes.
Got mad and you got in your feelings and you said, I'm not going to see your patients anymore. That's childish.
No,
That's
more.
exactly what happened.
Okay, well, I guess you know exactly what happened.
So let's break it down, right? Because I've been telling y'all, Dr. G, in my opinion, have some narcissistic personality trait. Like, he has some narcissistic character. Like, there's some things that he do is very reminiscent of a narcissistic man.
Well, am I wrong?
You are very wrong. Like,
Oh, no, I'm right.
I stopped seeing those patients you're referring me because they were high maintenance patients.
And it says, and I'm sure you guys have seen it everywhere, but it says February 28th, 2024. I just saw your wife's post. It was very bizarre and malicious. At the same time, I am not going to be seeing any more of your patients. He spelled it patience going forward. So I'm also not saying Dr. G is wrong for choosing to not take his patients anymore because of the things that his wife had been saying on social media. However, be real about it. And I think that's kind of where he lost me. Because, again, people are on social media like, okay, well, he's not wrong. He's not wrong, I guess, for feeling like that, but he didn't communicate that. You get what I'm saying? He lied on the reunion and said that's not the reason why he didn't take the patients anymore. And he also lied and said he had a conversation with Dr. Damon, and people are misconstruing that, in my opinion, because Dr. Damon is saying, no, you didn't. People are saying this text message proves that Dr. G had a conversation with him, and no, it doesn't. Dr. Damon is saying you got spiteful and you chose to not take my patients anymore because of this, and he didn't know anything about it. Dr. G is saying, I wasn't being spiteful. I didn't stop seeing your patients because of what Heavenly was saying. I stopped seeing your patients because they were high risk, which this proves that that is a lie. I don't understand how people do not see that.
That they had
I don't think so.
addiction.
Because it happened right when this thing happened. You're lying because you can't stand up as a man and just say when you're wrong.
And I just think this is a male moment. Like, let this man hold this man who he considered to be his friend accountable. As people keep saying, okay, well, Dr. Damon need to hold his wife accountable. And I just keep reiterating, what makes y'all think he don't?
If you're doing something out of spite, just say it. Don't hide behind, they were too hard
that's my
for
whole
me.
problem. You don't know anything
You
about
were
my
taking them for
practice
years,
over there,
and all of a
Damon.
sudden they
Why
got
would I not see
complicated.
patients out of spite?
And also, why would you lie about it, right? I feel like if you didn't stop seeing the patients out of spite, why wouldn't you? I mean, you get what I'm saying? Why would you send a text message and say what she said was bizarre, malicious? I am not going to be seeing any more of your patients. Like, what are we talking about?
Baby, your man disrespecting himself.
Listen, be quiet. Can I be like?
I'm sorry,
You
but
need
it's
to
the truth,
listen.
teacher, and you got to be able to receive it.
No, you just need to be quiet.
I don't, teacher.
Again, I don't necessarily think they are saying anything bad to Tisha, but I do think she won't receive anything Heavenly is saying because of her and Heavenly's relationship. And I think that because of how she feel about Toya setting her up, that she's not going to be able to receive anything that Toya is saying. But like I said, I don't feel like they are necessarily saying anything wrong. And she has taken so much on of Gregory to where she picks up a lot of the things that he does. Like, you know, just be quiet, just hush. I don't have to just hush, because if your husband tells you to just hush, you probably just hush. I think that's rude. Like, I can have an opinion on what's being said on this show right now.
I think that's the problem in your household. Nobody is speaking except for him.
I think that is real. And I think it shows. I think we see it. It's clear. It's adamant. And I also think it's unfortunate, because I feel like Sweet Tea might be the type of person that takes on so much of what he says to where she vilifies anybody that speaks up in her favor, even though it's against him, because that's just that male identified mindset. Even though you're trying to protect them and speak up for them, they are willing to protect and defend that man, even to their own detriment.
If you suddenly stop seeing referrals when you're in the midst of a disagreement, one could make that assumption.
1 + 1 = 2.
It's the truth. Seeing the type of patient that he was referring me took a whole lot more energy and took a whole lot more resources.
And I think this is just where people lose respect for you, just as a man. This is where men lose respect for you as a man, because you should be able to just outright say, your wife disrespected me. I don't appreciate it. I don't appreciate the way you held her accountable. I don't appreciate the fact that when you hold her accountable, she still goes outside of you if you tell me you hold her accountable. So I just don't want to mix business in because your wife is disrespectful. I feel like people would be able to understand that and people not judge him. But I think me, personally, I'm judging him because he clearly did lie. And I think that is a pattern. With Dr. G, is given it's everybody else's fault, or is given he don't really stand on his business, because like I said, he's not necessarily wrong for not wanting to see his patients anymore if it was because Heavenly and the comments that she made on social media, because any professional would tell you your social media presence matter. So if your partner is, I guess, disparaging your business partner, they have the right to not want to work with you anymore. But be honest about it.
It really did.
Well, what is the standard given your relationship? If you weren't in this situation, would you have hit him up and said, hey man, like, thanks for the referrals, but like, I don't have the bandwidth for these patients? I mean, would
that's exactly what I told him.
No, you didn't.
So Heavenly also revealed in that text message, under that, Dr. Damon responded and said, I don't know about any posts. That's your decision. He got another reply that says, Dr. Heavenly, apologize for calling Dr. G the P word. If you lie on me, I will tell the truth about your man. And I don't know if they were quoting what Dr. Heavenly said, or if Sweet Tea done took that damn man phone and sent that text. But y'all get in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think about my thoughts and opinions. Let me know what you think about Heavenly, Sweet Tea, and this whole debacle. Get in the comment section, baby. Okay? But be cute. Be nice. I'm trying to be fair. Okay? Even if you don't like my opinion. Okay? Be cute. Be cute about it. But for now, we up out these hoes' business.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't.
Damon, really?
No, yeah,
I
really.
didn't tell you
Greg,
why I wasn't seeing your
Greg,
patients.
I don't sit up and tell lies.
Damon referring all patients. This makes this man hundreds of thousands of dollars, really. You know what I'm saying? The man looked at the tweet. He saw what his wife showed, but evidently he didn't see the tweet. His wife had been tweeting me. That's what the problem is. He didn't see that. He texted Damon, said, man, I saw your tweet, your wife's tweet. Have you seen your wife's tweet? It was malicious. It was bizarre. Some shit he said like that. And he said, based on that fact, I'm going to have to stop seeing your patients. I'm going to stop seeing your patients. Right. Black point blank period. So if he said anything differently, that's a brother tucking lie. Do we have any receipts, Stephanie? Do we have any receipts? I just want to know if we got them. Because my whole thing is my man don't be sitting up here lying. My man ain't just cheating, running his dick. Come on, y'all act like he Miss Lucy. Y'all been trying to tear this man down since the beginning of the time. You know why? Because of this. I hate to do it. Read it. I hate when people lie when there's a receipt like that. Don't send no fucking text. Now move it. Go sit up there and say, man, I never. Damon referring on page. This makes this man hundreds of thousands of dollars, really. You know what I'm saying? The man looked at the tweet. He saw it, his wife showed. Move it. Go sit up there and say, man, I never did that. That's why I lose respect for people, because already you're talking to your wife crazy. We already know what you did to Quad. We already know. That's why King don't like you. That's why Damon don't respect you. That's what it is. Move it. Go sit up there and say, man, I never.
Yeah. I pull up, roll the window down it. I pull up, roll the window down it. Yeah. I pull up, roll the window down it.
Baby, you don't know what you do to me. Between me and you, I feel like chemistry. I won't let no one come and take your place. Cause the love you give, you can't replace.
It's not in entertainment purpose. It's not in
That's why I'm mine.